Hello everyone, my name is Jeremy Simpson, and I am a senior backend software engineer here at TGC. I work on the pieces of the game that allow you to play with others. I work on a team that designs, writes, and maintains a variety of highly scalable backend services and infrastructure components that enables Sky to operate as an online multiplayer game, as well as allow developers to shape the player's experience and to provide internal employees with insights as to what is happening inside the game. The things that get me the most excited is when we build things that are completely new and have never been done before. So for example, the Aurora concert that happened last year required a lot of new technology to be built. That really got me excited, and I really like doing things like that. Working at TGC, the company culture and the company values really reflect the type of games that we make. So the games you make, has a compassion and empathy. The company culture is exactly like that. Everyone is really nice and supportive. Everyone's very passionate about making Sky as good as possible with the seasonal content and everything that is made. The type of satisfaction I get, it makes me feel like I'm actually contributing something that's useful to the world. You play, you can feel relaxed, and you can make friends and learn from others and join a community which is actually nice to be a part of. That gives me great satisfaction of being a good influence in the things I create.
Hi, I'm Samantha Cruse. I'm a designer at that game company. Previously, I filled the role as a community manager. Now, instead of collecting feedback on what we create, I actually help create it from the ground up. I kind of came to TGC with not a lot of experience, but a lot of energy to learn what needed to be done on the fly in order to make myself as useful as possible. Having that freedom to grow as a community manager and then also have questions that I was asking about the design eventually led to me being a designer on the team. I always want to know why. That motivates me for everything. If I understand why, I can better look at it from a perspective that's not my own and empathize with that. Now, being a designer, I look at things from that perspective, but at the back of my mind, I've always got the heart and soul of the community and a good calibrated guess on how our players are going to treat something that we present to them. Prior to joining the games industry, I did anything from being a bank teller to what some people will know as a loan officer or a credit analyst. It wasn't just numbers and payments, it was humans struggling. I want to do good because I think putting good into the world is so important. Being at TGC gives me an opportunity to do that through video games. My love is deepest for Sky because I love that human interaction and connection on a wider scale. Bring that good and that kindness and that warmth back into everything that I do. But that's valued and respected here, and that's amazing.
Hey, I'm Dylan, and I'm the UI lead here at TGC. So I was always a huge fan of TGC. I probably had like 5 favorite game studios, and TGC was right at the top of that list. I followed them throughout their career. The first game I played from TGC was Flower, and it just really opened up my mind for what games could be. And the thing is, they were making games that I couldn't find anywhere else, right? And I wanted to see more of those games. So that's why I joined TGC, is because I wanted to help make more of those games. I worked on the Constellation menu in our game, and it's basically a friends list. Like in other games, it would just be, a list of friend names that you scroll through. But in our case, we really wanted to kind of rethink that and build it up from the ground up and try and find a solution that would enhance what our game is rather than just doing what everyone else does. One of the things that feels really unique about working at TGC and building UI at TGC versus other places is how much of an emphasis we put on innovation. And yeah, I think that could be really rewarding to work on something where it feels like you're innovating, because it's harder and it takes more iteration to get it right, but it feels like you're going to offer players something they haven't seen before, and you could even inspire other people with the work that you do. So that's really cool.
Hi, I'm Kyle, and I'm lead gameplay engineer at that game company. I usually write a bunch of game code, specifically things that players can do in the world. Code that revolves around like creatures, the crabs. When we're designing new gameplay, we usually do have certain emotions we're trying to hit. If you want players to be afraid or feel like something is searching for them, you can start to kind of build lights maybe that are searching down at the environment. We worked on some underwater areas, and we hadn't really added a new ability like that to Sky since flying. You can imagine if we built a whole world around this ability of flying, coming up with swimming underwater was actually fairly challenging. Are those creatures underwater the same as fly around in the sky? How are they connected? It's a very collaborative process with the team. You have to work with the animators to get the animations feeling right. We talk to designers, we talk to engineers, we talk to artists about how do we want players to feel. Again, we go to the emotion. It's a very iterative process here. We're always putting out new updates, continue to build on it and continue to improve. And I think that's one thing that makes working at TGC really great. I really think about like our responsibility as creators to have a positive message, say something that could help the younger people of the world live a better life, influence them or inspire them to do something great.
I am a 3D artist here at that game company, 3D generalist. I never really played video games growing up. Early on in my college days, I thought I was set on going into animation as a 3D artist. And senior year, on weekend, all the students were day drinking and partying. I was playing Journey on the PS3 with my friends. When I first met another road player like me, I got so excited and I kept honking and dancing around, and that's kind of like the moment that changed how I felt about wanting to create a world, a 3D environment. TGC made the game that inspired me to rethink about what it is that I wanted to make, so I can make other players feel whatever I felt when I was playing Journey. I dabble in all sorts of stuff ranging within the 3D pipeline, but for the past year or two, I have been managing the art department. Gotta be really good at prioritizing things, learning to say no, setting boundaries, and most of the case, everyone here is so kind that I worry that I am overstepping their boundaries by asking them to do something. One thing at work that I am really interested in pursuing besides just being an artist is becoming a good leader. TGC has empowered me to kind of explore that while I continue being an artist, because I'm like, hey, I'm interested in this thing. They're like, hey, why don't you try it out?
I am Nick. I am a game designer at TGC. I'm working on the seasons. Design at TGC is all-encompassing. I don't feel tightly bound to a particular jurisdiction and am unable to branch off. I work closely with the rest of the season team to develop the narrative for the season, proposing, implementing the quest structure that we have, help ensure the vision of the season is carried out across the disciplines. This is my first role in the games industry. So prior to this, I was in architecture and I did a lot of interactive stuff. And so at TGC, really I bring to the table all of the other experiences Because I came out of the world of architecture, it easily could have been, all right, Nick, go make buildings here. But it was clear in my communication with everybody that I could do that, but that's not why I'm at TGC. Personally, I want to get better at storytelling, so that's something I'm always working towards. I put myself in those situations at TGC where I can and am encouraged to deliver on those. So it's really nice to communicate something like that and knowing that it's heard by seeing that my responsibilities are not pigeonholed into like this one version of myself that I could potentially be for the benefit of everybody else is reassuring for me.
Hi, my name is Sam McGrath. I'm the CTO of that game company. CTO is Chief Technology Officer. My responsibilities essentially include overseeing all of the technical decisions that we make. The amazing engineering team that we have here at TGC, obviously I can't take credit for them. People like Genova, me, Cecil, and all of the sort of quote-unquote executives on the team are still very hands-on. I mean, Genova is in there day-to-day. He's actually writing code, he's working on levels, he's working on art, because that's what we love to do. You know, that's where we came from as game developers. I've been in the game industry now for, I think, over 20 years. Actually, I have two partners who I've been kind of going around the industry with. Their names are Travis and Trevor Stringer. They're also at TGC now. Pretty cool because it's kind of like the three of us as a little like pod have been kind of moving around the industry together. Kind of out of the blue, one day, Genova emailed us and he was talking about this project called Sky. He asked us if we'd be interested in coming to the studio and checking it out. We were blown away, honestly, by just the graphics, the quality of the art. Genova had this really interesting vision for what a game could be and how it could inspire emotion and compassion in players. It was just really intriguing to us and kind of putting the player first. We make all of our decisions based on that games should be respected as art and that games should inspire emotion and compassion in people. Through the games that we make, we can hopefully make the world a little bit better of a place. I think as long as this company exists, I don't see that vision changing.
Hi, I'm Amelia. I'm Assistant Community Manager of Relations here at TGC. I was originally a player. I was originally part of the community and active there. I volunteered in our Discord and did a lot of work with documenting things and helping out as a moderator, and one day a job opening on the community team happened to appear. So I applied and it's 3 years later and here I am. I like to think that my work brings more of a personal touch to the community. You know, obviously I care a lot about the community and I like to make sure that they know that we care about them and that we, you know, are there with them. We also play the game, we interact with them, we see them in the communities, we get their inside jokes and we appreciate them. So bringing that feeling to our players and then also vice versa. Bringing feedback from players, giving their sort of perspectives to our internal dev teams, helping them understand how players may experience something, as well as helping like devs put together play tests with volunteers, learning about how games work from the inside has been a very new experience and very, very different. The effort that I could tell the company went through to make the game inclusive and make it the safe, wholesome, wonderful space was something that just really spoke to me. And working with the people who cared enough to make that happen was, you know, just something that I absolutely couldn't pass up.